My vocation story is really weird. I say it starts off as a joke.
Really?
Because, yeah, there was Dominican priests and friars there. So they were in charge of my local parish. And I didn't know a difference between diocesan and religious priests. That was just nothing part of my radar. I just know they were priests. But so happened they were so happened to be on the same trip as us. And they saw me as I was single. And so they kind of started to pick on me. And they said, hey, Catherine looks like she can become a sister. And so for the whole 5 days, they kept pestering me about it. Like, hey, check it out. Check the sisterhood out. And then eventually I kind of gave in just for the sake of getting them to be quiet. And so I asked them, what's the next step? And then that's when it started.
They pestered you into trying it out.
Yeah, to check it out. I did.
Now, did you date through high school?
No, I did not. I stayed single.
Your parents were strict, or it's just didn't work out?
No, they were very strict.
Very strict.
And very strict. They said you cannot be dating or consider marriage until you finish university. Just make sure everything is down pat before you even consider a relationship.
Were they the typical Asian parents who are just super strict? You got to study.
Yes, very typical. So technically I didn't have to do anything at home other than study.
Oh, wow. That was your job.
That was my job.
100%. Now, did your parents grow up in Canada as well?
No, my parents came from Vietnam, and so they immigrated to Canada after the fall of Saigon.
Okay. And so you and your sisters were all born in Canada?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in Canada, you went on that retreat, and then did you try out the first steps after returning from the retreat? Is that what happened?
You mean the conference when I went to
the conference, excuse me.
Right. So I went to the conference and then they kept pestering about it. So then I finally said, well, I really didn't want to, but I thought that would be the thing to tell them so that they would stop pestering me about it. So I said, yeah, Father, tell me more. What's this the Dominican sisters you're talking about? And they're like, yeah, it's a life where you can give yourself completely to God. You should really check it out. And I was like, yeah, I am giving myself to God. I'm going with this youth group. I'm serving as the VP right now. And they're like, no, this is total dedication. And then I was like, okay, so what's the next step? Tell me more. And then they said, just check it out. There's Dominican sisters in Houston. And I said, okay, I'll check it out when I come home. And then finally I did check it out. But just because when I came home, for some reason, that motivation to continue medical school, it just mysteriously dispersed.
Wow.
And I was no longer really wanting to look into that area anymore. And so I became kind of restless. And it wasn't until in retrospect that I know now that when St. Augustine said, my heart is restless until it rests in you, that I really figured, I was because I was pacing down the basin back and forth. And that phrase of the fathers kept repeating hey, she can become a sister. She can become a sister. That phrase kept repeating in my head. And so I finally Googled it. So Dominican sisters in Houston. And so I called the sisters and I said, hey, a priest told me to check you guys out. Can you tell me what's the next step? And then sister was like, hey, yeah, we actually have a come and see right now if you'd like to come. They were already partway through their come and see. So I said, okay, let me check the flights and everything like that. And so I checked the flights. My dad booked the flight. The next day I came to the convent.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that. It was pretty crazy, really radical.